It's been a while since I made a solo countdown, hasn't it? Yes. Mario Party, a wonderful spin-off series based on the Red Plumber himself that's infamous for ruining friendships, incredibly unforgiving luck-based minigames, and causing numerous amounts of WTF moments. But aside from these casualties, I have a lot of fun playing the Mario Party games. I'm aware of the anger-inducing bullcrap that this spin-off series has caused over the last few years, but you know what? I still get enjoyment from playing these games. Usually when people make a countdown that's solely based on Mario Party, it's usually about the mini-games they have. But this time, I'm gonna try something different. Instead of the mini-games, I'll be talking about the Mario Party boards that you play on in these games. The Mario Party boards always have something fun, unexpected, and are overall an experience to see for yourself. So I'll be counting down my top 30, yes, top 30 Mario Party boards that I personally like the most and will play on the most whenever I play through any of the Mario Party games. I'll try and cover the events and everything to expect from each of these boards as much as possible, but there may be some cases where there's not much to talk about on some of these boards. Oh, and don't expect any of the boards from Mario Party Advance or Island Tour to be on here, since I haven't played either one of those Mario Parties. And one more thing, I'm only including the Battle Royale boards on this list. I won't be including any of the dual boards from Mario Party 3, any of the extra room boards from Mario Party 4, or any of the story mode boards from Mario Party 6, since I feel that the other boards besides these are much more enjoyable and memorable to play on. Alright, with all this said, let's get this Mario Party started. God, that sounds so freaking cheesy. Starting off this list is the Mario Party 7 board, Grand Canal. Believe it or not, this board is actually based on the landmark of the same name in Venice, Italy. Pretty cool of them to actually make a board based off of a landmark in real life. It has pretty much everything to expect from Italy. It has a lot of boats, fancy houses, wooden bridges, blooper juggling. They have these in Italy? Events that you can participate in this game involve dodging spikes while trying to collect coins, and a shy guy on both sides of the town on two certain happening spaces can transfer you from one side or the other, all while trying to collect even more coins. Once Bowser time occurs, which is also known as your worst fucking nightmare ever, Bowser can destroy the bridges and replace them with his own bridges, as well as put Bowser spaces on them. Although aside from the landmark this board's based off of, and a few fun activities every once in a while once you land on the happening spaces, there's really not that much to talk about on this board, which is why it's the lowest on the list. DK Stone Statue. How this came to be is shown in the story mode of this Mario Party when Mario and the gang find Diddy Kong having a freakout session. He tells them that Donkey Kong was transformed into a statue thanks to Dry Bones. How Dry Bones was able to do this, I have no idea. But at least the board is still fun. There's only one star space in this entire board, and it's the second last space on the very tip top of one of the logs that the DK statue is carrying. And since that star space never moves, you can buy more than one star if you have the money to do so. There are also 4 happening spaces that have a rope next to them which can send you to the opposite log. The other happening spaces on the logs will send a barrel careening towards you, and whoever is standing on the corresponding log will end up losing 10 coins of the process. There's also a beehive in one portion of the area in which you can collect coins if you land on the corresponding happening spaces. Oh yeah, and there's also this Dry Bones coffin thing, which, surprisingly, I've never seen in action because I've never landed on the corresponding happening spaces. And before I end this segment, I would love to know, how the hell does a skeleton turn a monkey into stone? Seriously, how is that possible? Oh, Peach, you were such a worthless damsel, but I had to admit that your board in Mario Party 1 is pretty delish, because it is a cake. I swear I will never do that anymore throughout this list. Or ever. But seriously though, this is surprisingly a pretty good board. Not because it's on, well, a birthday cake, although that does contribute to it since it looks so damn tasty. But personally, I like how they set up these hazards on this board. You see, this board has a crap load of happening spaces around here, and the only way you can see what they do is if you have 30 or more coins in your disposal. Once you land on one of them and you have 30 coins, Goomba will give you the opportunity to plant a piranha plant in the cake. Yeah, I don't get it either, but hey, it's Mario logic. What can I say? These piranha plants aren't just for an attraction though. If anyone lands on a happening space that has a piranha plant and you happen to have a star, then the piranha plant can swipe it from you and give it to whoever owns the piranha plant. This is a good trap to set since in the center of the board, there's a Goomba who will show you 4 different seeds. 3 of them are Toad seeds and 1 of them is a Bowser seed. You have to pay up 10 coins, or all of your coins if you don't have enough, and pick one of these 4 seeds. If you get a seed that has Toad, you get to go to the star space, which, by the way, never changes locations and stays there the entire game. But if you get a Bowser seed, you have to suffer and go to Bowser's own cake, who will then give you some sort of turtle shell cake, which you'll be forced to give up 20 coins for. Yeah, he really expects you to eat something that doesn't even look edible. That's what's pretty cool about this board, because if you get screwed and aren't able to get the star, then you could just plant these piranha plant seeds into the ground and snatch a star right from one of your friends, and it'll be all yours. You're precious! That sounded really creepy, didn't it? Rainbow Dream. This board has 4 sections. One has a giant amp in which you can power it up and collect capsules. The other has a cheat sheet as a fountain which can send you back to the start. Another one has a Mr. Blizzard which you can collect coins by ground pounding a swing set lookalike object. The last one has a sun, which gives you 3 rainbows, and each one sends you to a random part of the board, and along the way you can get some free coins out of it. The only way you can grant access to these different sections is by getting towards this rainbow space. You have to give Clevar 5 coins and the space will create a rainbow in which you can go to the next area. And of course, if you don't have the coins, then you're stuck and can't go nowhere. There's also a gigantic cloud Ferris wheel that you can ride on and will send you to wherever the star is. I like this board because of its design and how these different sections have something different added to them. There's a really peaceful feeling to this board. It feels like your Rainbow Dash just relaxing in the clouds while this peace-inducing music plays in the background. It kind of makes me picture a spa now that I think about it. Toad Road. There's nothing really that special about this board. It's just your typical everyday garden. But at least it's fun to play on. As you and the others advance through this board collecting mini-stars, you'll go through lily pads, a mountain that you and the crew have to jump across, and mostly just grass and flowers everywhere. There's also this island in the middle of the garden called the 9 Island, get it? Because it looks like a 9, in which the captain needs to get to the middle of the island to get a high maximum amount of mini-stars. So the captain has to make a wise choice on who goes first so that you can get the shit ton of mini-stars in the middle. And like every other board in Mario Party 9, there's 2 boss battles made specifically for this board, them being Lakitu and Wiggler. While they're nowhere near as challenging and fun as the other bosses in Mario Party 9, they're still pretty good, even if they are redundantly easy. I personally thought this was a pretty good first board for the newest gameplay style for the Mario Party series, even if the fans of Mario Party think very differently about that. Want to hear the weirdest title for anything ever? Good, because next on the list is Mario Party 8's Goombas Booty Boardwalk. What? Like I said, weirdest title for anything ever. Anyways, this board is one of the only closest things to any kind of beach that I'll ever go to. The object of this board is that Goomba is waiting for you at the very end of the board. If you're able to reach him, he'll give you a star for free. Sounds easy enough, but here's the catch. This is quite frankly the longest board not only in Mario Party 8, but one of the longest boards in the entire Mario Party series. So it'll take you a while to get to the very end. If you have any money, however, you can be able to take shortcuts from these dolphins that will take you further down the board. And since the star is free, you don't have to worry about keeping track of your coins that often. Another thing that I like about this board is that they brought the Piantas from Super Mario Sunshine into this boardwalk. If you land on a happening space that has a yellow Pianta, then he'll move you up a couple of spaces by throwing you, because those kinds of Piantas, well, are chucksters. The happening spaces that have the blue Piantas will give you a free piece of candy. By accident, that is. These all seem fine and dandy, that is until you hit the happening space that's only 3 spaces away from the star. If you're unfortunate enough to hit this happening space, then a bunch of troublemaking Goombas will take you, put you into a cannon, and blast you all the way back to the start. And let me remind you, this space is only 3 spaces away from the star.
That's despicable.
Oh yeah, and there's also another happening space that's next to a shipwreck that gives you coins. Finally, there's DK and Bowser's contribution to this board. Simply put, DK will try and give you some coins, while Bowser tries to get rid of them. Though in all honesty, if I were to change one thing about this board, it would be to make the star at least cost something. That way it would be more challenging so that you can use your coins wisely. Other than that, I would like to relax in the beachy environment that is Goomba's Booty Boardwalk. Seriously, that's a pretty cheesy title. Who'd have thought that Waluigi would have his very own island? Just like Waluigi himself, this island has a lot of fucked up contraptions around this board. For one thing, the board looks like a complete war zone of some sort, as it looks like it's been blown up numerous times. Probably because there's this bomb in the center that has a timer, and every time you land on the happening spaces surrounding it, the timer decreases. And if you're unfortunate enough to be around the bomb when the timer hits 0, it explodes and takes away every single one of your coins. Every single last one of them. What? Everywhere you try to go, there's no such thing as safe from danger on here. There's this gear in the very center of the board that has 4 arrows. Whatever arrow is lit up once you land on this gear, that's where you're forced to go. So, in other words, this thing can send you right back to the bomb and screw you up if you don't time your jump carefully to the desired location that you want to go to. There are also 3 warp pipes that send you right back to the star if you happen to reach the very end of a section of the board, so don't worry about hitting a dead end. The only place that Boo is on is at the top right corner, but in order to get to him you have to select 2 paths. One of these paths is a trap door that will send you right back to the star just like those warp pipes. And as expected from most of Mario Party, it's completely luck based, so you have to just hope that you pick the right path or swoop, down you go. And to add to the craziness, this board has a separate island on the top left corner of the board that you can get to if you pass through one of these 2 bridges here. If you happen to enter this island, you better be prepared for whatever comes at you because all the spaces on this island will stay the same throughout the course of one turn. These will change every turn except for the bank space at the bottom. So you could be surrounded by blue spaces, red spaces, chance time spaces, game guy spaces, battle game spaces, item spaces, or even Bowser spaces. And these can either help you out to your advantage or fuck you up in the worst possible way.
Are you kidding me, Doc? That's the most ridiculous idea I've ever heard.
But hey, that's exactly why I like this board. It's batshit insane. I would use a Western accent for this next segment, but trust me, y'all don't want that. You'll be wanting to shoot me afterwards. So I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Next on here is Western Land. Personally, I'm not much of a fan of anything that takes place in Western places like this. I don't have anything against them, I just personally don't care for them that much. But like with Goomba's Booty Boardwalk for beach-looking environments, Western Land is an exception for Western-themed locations. As if it wasn't obvious enough, Mario and the gang dress up like cowboys as they play to see who can stop Bowser in his own cowboy getup. For the majority of this board, you advance on a railroad that has the presence of this train that moves forward whenever you take a ride on it for the cost of 5 coins, or whenever someone lands on a happening space. If anyone happens to be on the track and the train runs over you, you get sent back to the start. Except it's not as unforgiving here as it was on Goomba's Booty Boardwalk. Like with every other board in Mario Party 2, there are an item game and duel minigame that resembles the theme of this board. Them being Give Me a Break for the item minigame and Quick Draw Corks for the duel minigame for Western Land. For something that's Western themed, it does a rather good job of the Western atmosphere and all that. Personally, I definitely choose this over Pirate, Mystery, and Horror Land any day. And I have no other way to end this segment, so here's something completely fitting for something that's Western themed.
It's time for a hillbilly moment!
Hi, guys! No!
Who's there?
Liberty Bell!
Liberty Bell hit?
I'm gonna hit you in the head with a Liberty Bell!
That's good.
Remember Professor EGads from Luigi's Mansion? The guy who helped Luigi out to try and capture the portrait ghost and booze? Well, apparently Mario Party 6 decided to create a board for that guy. That's where we get to talk about EGads Garage. Aside from the awesome design they gave this board, I really like the gadgets and gizmos in this garage. There are conveyor belts that send you to one space on the lower floor that will give you coins in return, 3 teleportation devices in which EGad himself will give you the option to teleport to another one of these devices, a huge ass fan that allows you to suck up the opposing player's coins, a gigantic EGad lookalike machine that you can put your orbs in and they'll transform into different orbs, and an enormous rocket that can fire character spaces in random places if you have the money. It's like they went above and beyond with what they can do here. Since Mario Party 6 has a day and night system in the game, the board layout and obstacles change within the day and night. During the day, the big EGad lookalike machine will turn your orbs into different orbs like I previously mentioned. But during the night, however, you can turn your orbs into a huge stash of coins. That is, if you accept the offer. You also have this platform in the middle that turns around clockwise when it shifts from the day and night. At the end of the day, this board would definitely be on my must-visit list if I were given the opportunity. And if Phineas and Ferb were to exist in this Mario universe, then I'm sure they would definitely be proud just as much as I am. Shy Guy's Jungle Jam. You want the definition of an awesome looking jungle themed, well, anything? Then this is what you're looking for. As expected for something that's jungle themed, this board has a lot of things you'd usually see in a jungle. For the most part. You have a big river in the middle of the board, trees, statues, a volcano, totem poles, and a whole lot of rocks. There's also a klepto at the top left corner of the board that will give you a ride across the river at the cost of 5 coins. But you can also collect coins as you're riding on top of the condor. The volcano can give you a lot of coins, but that rarely ever happens and you have to rely on luck in order to experience that for yourself. Klepto's not the only one who can take you to the other half of the board though. There's also a Shy Guy on a raft that can take you to the other side for a random fee, but you would have to get across the orange pipe with a mini mushroom in order to do that. The only happening spaces on this board are in front of these Shy Guy statues. You had to make either a sad wish or a fun wish. If the Shy Guy gods like your wish, nothing really happens.
What in the hell?
But if the gods don't like your wish, then the statue will give you this look that will possibly terrify you and haunt your nightmares for today, which causes the other Shy Guy statue in the center to flood for up to 1 to 3 turns, and you can't cross the other path once this is in effect. And if you land on the happening spaces once this is going on, then nothing happens. Again, it's pretty much just like getting a fun wish. Finally, you have the item minigame and coin minigame for this board, which you can only grant access to if you're in mini form by using a mini mushroom. For the item minigame, 3 items are dangling from a tree and sway left and right, and you have to time your jump perfectly if you want a certain item by pressing the A button. The coin minigame has you winding up a little Fly Guy toy. Depending on how much you wind this toy up, will depend on how many coins you get. And really, this is all you probably want to see in something that's jungle themed, feeling as if you're going on a jungle adventure, or at least the closest thing to that in this case.